All right, we're in full production mode. This is the original Guider 2, and this is our backup Guider 2 that's in full production too. So these things are selling like hotcakes. So 2 machines going at once. I would say it's more than twice as much work. You have to coordinate the schedules of printing. You're printing exactly the same thing on both. You can synchronize it more, but I have it pretty well synchronized, but there's some cases we only have an hour in between doing things instead of 2+ hours like I usually do with only one printer. So that's kind of annoying, but I'm making hay while the sun shines. So anyway, it is possible to run 2 printers at once. I'm sure you already knew. So this is the original PEI surface I started with, and it's been great. I would never go back to the stickers, but it's getting kind of beat up. It's got some scuff marks on it and so forth, so I decided to buy another one. Unfortunately, Flashforge is no longer making these because they're phasing out the Guider 2 printer. Now over here, this is one I bought as a backup a while ago. So when I started my second printer up, I just used the backup one. So now I want to replace the first one, at least have one that around just in case it gets messed up. And had to order one from China on AliExpress, and it's from a third-party company that makes these apparently, and I don't know what it looks like, but it came from China today. The box is kind of squished in, but hopefully inside it's okay. Let's take a look. All right, let's see what we got here. I have ordered other things on AliExpress. Every one except one went fine. One, the seller said they delivered it, even though the tracking information said that it was stuck in the post office because it was damaged, and they couldn't figure out what the address was, so it was never delivered. So I tried. It's hard to argue with somebody who's in China. So at some point, unfortunately, I ended up eating that cost. So I didn't order from them anymore, obviously. But so I've had fairly good luck ordering things from China, but caveat emptor. I'd rather buy it from Flashforge USA or some other supplier in the US, but they don't have them. So this looks pretty good so far. I did buy one PEI surface for the NX, but it was just a sticker instead of being powder coated on like these guys are. So. Worst case scenario, I got some new packaging material to send stuff out for sale. So. All right, so this is a double-sided powder coated PEI surface for the Guider 2. It looks like it's the right size. We'll have to try it out. Let's put it on and make sure it fits, but it looks really good. The surface, I felt the other ones a lot. This feels like a really good surface, so for now, I'm going to recommend it, but I have to try it first. So once I print something on it, I'll have another short video to add on to this one, and we'll see if it works. So far, it looks good. Okay, it's time to test out our new PEI surface. Looks basically the same as the old one, except the new one doesn't have any marks on it. This one's kind of beat up. Probably can see that. Over time, I had to scrape it using I use this more blunt spatula, not the really thin, sharp one. So this is a great spatula of the 2 that I got in the kit for this kind of surface. The other one's better for stickers. And occasionally, I've given a little bit of hit with a sandpaper of some PLA stuck to it. I could have probably heated up the the surface bed to 80-90 degrees and peeled it off, but that takes a lot of time. So it seems to stand up to it pretty well. In any case, I thought it was good to get a new surface because I had so much good luck with the new surface on the backup printer. I don't know if that video is shown yet or not, probably. This is a double-sided one. Now, it's hard to tell exactly how thick it is by feel because the back of this is smooth. So this one feels thinner, but it could be just the fact that it's got two rough surfaces. So I'm going to use my digital calipers. So it's on 0.
and we'll measure this. So this is showing about 0.42, 0.55. I thought this was more uniform, but apparently it isn't. 0.55. Let's try it on the back here. 0.46. And this one, 0.49, 0.48. This is actually maybe a little more uniform. 0.48. Yeah, this is actually pretty better made than this one, because I haven't really printed along the edges here. I scraped it at all, so it couldn't really be because I've been using it. So this may be actually a higher quality plate, which would be interesting. A little bit thicker back here. Well, it's about the same. Now, if you put them up on flat on the surface next to each other, like this, put them up against each other. I can do that. There. They feel basically the same height. Okay, well, since we're changing the surface, it's a good idea to recalibrate the printer. So we're going to do that. I've shown that before, so I'm not really going to show it again, but we're going to recalibrate the Z position just because we're changing the surface. So that's a good practice. Like if you change the nozzle out or anything like that, you've changed the geometry of your printer, so you better recalibrate, otherwise you'll have problems. One other thing is, this is the Flashforge. I did have PETG pull off some of the powder coating on this one over here, and I think that's the only one. Maybe over here a little bit. So, you know, they don't last forever, but it's still a lot better than the sticker. And I'll have a link to in the show notes to the third-party replacement that I found on AliExpress from China. And it's been working great for me so far. So because the sticker's so hard to clean or hard to replace, and it's actually kind of expensive, it's actually cheaper to buy these things. They'll last longer than buying using a sticker. Alright, so the calibration came out at -1.7, which is very similar to that before. I think I was using 1.8, -1.8. So that's good. A little bit of friction here. So I found with this printer, you don't want this too tight because it tightens up slightly when you're actually printing with it. That could just be my way I'm doing it, but you have to check for yourself. So, all right. So we're gonna say okay. We're gonna level this, and then we're gonna print. Just test it out on the first print. I'll get this started with leveling. There. For the first print, we're going to be printing some of these Mandalorian coins that I make. These are replicas of coins that are found in the Star Wars movies. So we're going to print some of these and see how it turns out. Alright, so I've been using this for a few months now, and it works pretty well. It's not as dependable or as high quality as the original from Flashforge, but it's pretty good. I did have some problems here with PETG sticking and pulling off the powder coating. So recently I switched to the other side, and I've only printed this with PLA so far, and you can see some little, some residual stuff here, but stuff's been coming off really well. That's basically a new surface, so that's one advantage of this one. It's double-sided. I'm going to print some PETG right now because I tried printing it on this surface and it stuck to it too much. So I'm going to, since this is newer, this one's been, scraped and had a lot of stuff on and off of it. So try this new surface, but I'm going to also lower the temperature. I have been printing PETG with a 65-degree bed temperature. I'm going to try 60 degrees, which is what I use for PLA right now. So we'll see if it sticks okay, and if it comes off okay. That's the main thing. All right, so check back in a couple hours when the print's done, and we'll see how it did. Off the printer. Let's see if it'll come off this time. This came off fine, just like last time. These are sort of coming out better. thin parts of it. One little section hung up a little bit, but it's okay. I want to keep this warm, but I want to make sure it doesn't cool down too much before I try to take it off, because I think it loses some of its flexibility. There's a good one. Just this corner now. There. Alright, what's some residual on there? But it's certainly better than the last one where it cracked. So. Yeah, the bottom of this is okay. Anyway, the bed adhesion was okay. It didn't pull up at all at 60 degrees, so I'm going to stick with 60 degrees. And looks like we're in business for now, but I would be a little cautious using this with PETG, but it worked for me on this print, and I'm hoping it's going to keep working. So PLA, no problem. It works great. Use it all day. PETG, you could have some adhesion problems, so be careful.
Still have some trouble getting PETG off this surface, but I'm trying something different here now. I'm doing 3 outlines around my project, and I'm actively tweaking this the leveling thumb screws to try to minimize the squishing on the bed, so it's more sitting on top of the bed. Liquid PETG doesn't like to be squished, I read somewhere. So hopefully it'll come off easier. Let's see it here. That's the trick. So. Alright, now it's doing its regular print. Okay, well, we'll give it a try, see what happens. Now see if this comes off any easier. I did the that's a lot easier. Let's see if we can get the other one off. Alright. Okay, so the secret to this surface, particularly for PETG, is very, very careful about fine-tuning. I mean, I leveled it, using leveling software, but that could be off by 0.1 millimeters or so. So being very careful and having at least I always do three goes around, because one is too hard to get off by itself. And have to be very careful about doing a outline around your parts and fine tune it so that you're getting it's not being driven too far. The first layer is not too close to the surface, because this is a rough surface. So since PETG is kind of sticky, it's going to stick to the surface better than PLA. So you definitely want to be up above the minimum distance. All right, so that's a big improvement. So I'll be doing this for all my prints now in PETG, always doing a outline and fine-tuning the print surface before each print. Now, normally I don't have to redo, I'm going to be doing the outline every time, but once I get it dialed in, it's very consistent. So I don't have to tune it every time, but I'll keep an eye on it and make sure that my outline looks the way I want it to look. So, all right, so thumbs up. This is that's a big win for this surface. It's having a little bit of discouragement when I was getting parts sticking to it, but now I've got it. I figured out a way to get it dialed in correctly. It looks like it's going to be great. So, because this version is available on AliExpress, and of course the original Flashforge is no longer being sold. I'm assuming because Flashforge is phasing out the Guider 2 printer, is my guess. So. Anyway, I will link to this in the show notes so you can get your own version. All right, so here's an example of where to be careful. So there's 2 little residual PETG blobs here from an outline I did. And they don't want to come off easily. I tried scraping them slightly, and I said, oh, wait a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to heat the printer at 120 degrees, and then they'll just slide off. So we've got 115 degrees now. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, see if we can get off. See that? All right, so play it safe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.